We could not find your stream. Huh?
Here you go. It's live.
Oh no, yeah, it's up now. Wolf Cub, hey Dailyac and chat. Hope everyone's doing good after all the storms passed through. Yes.
Yep.
And I just heard my phone go ding, but I don't know where it's at. All right, I know now. We're up and running. Shaman says, I knew you'd start early. Well, of course. Why wouldn't we? Big Dave's here. Everything's up and running. You know. And that's my MO. And happy Blurg to you, too. For those that celebrate.
Yeah. Yes, happy Blurgmas for Shaman.
Oxygen fuse. Do we have another one of those? I don't think we do.
Over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we just have production multipliers in here.
Oh. Well, in the great by and by, let's try a production multiplier fuse, and if it does something great,
we'll do something to something. What that is, I do not know.
Me neither. Up and running is a cruel term at 5:50 a.m. This is true.
Yep. If that makes you feel any better, Shaman, I've been up since 4 a.m. my time. So.
And I've been up since 5 a.m. my time and coughed my brains out for an hour after I walked across the house to keep from bothering my wife. All right, now we've got to do another farm.
Yes, what do we need for those farms?
2 bee larvas, a fertilizer, a tier 2 fertilizer, a super alloy, and a water bottle. You know what's going to be the limiting factor to that might be the bees.
Yep, I will start working on that. But I think I need to find... Come on, my race.
You can find your phone, just listen for the ding and then follow it to the phone. That's exactly what I did. It was in my back pocket. And when I started the stream, it dinged and I went, okay, the phone's here someplace. And I'm 62 and about halfway sick, so I have an excuse for being a little scatterbrained more than normal this morning. But I found it, it's there. I usually set it on my desk, and then when I start the stream, I can see that it pops up and tells me I'm live, so. And I'm sorry that I sound like a bullfrog, but this is what you get. This started last Monday because I canceled last Monday's stream because I was coughing and hacking. I was telling Dave that I have drank more coffee this week than I ever have in my life. And it's decaf, so it's just hot brown colored water. It doesn't, but I may have some empathy in about an hour. Let's see, in Shaman's world, empathy equals wakefulness equals empathy. I bet if somebody got you a cup of coffee mixed just right, that you might be a little more empathetic. You'll be happy to know, Dave, I used almost all that iron, went to put it back. Thing was already full.
Yep.
I need a tier 2 fertilizer. Let's see if I can steal one of those out of Dave's work crate.
No.
And the answer is no, because there's not any.
Yeah, because I made all that stuff into the circuit boards for you.
Uh-huh. Thank you. You're all that in a bag of chips. There's tier 1s. What
Yeah, I
is it?
think tier 2 is... Yeah, tier 1 is fertilizer, algae, squash, and 2 methane.
You mean tier 2?
Yeah, tier 2.
Fertilizer,
No, it's,
algae.
yeah, fertilizer, 1 algae, 1 squash, and 2 methane.
I wonder if people drink 500 cups of coffee if they would stay awake. I don't know if they'd stay awake or not, Wolf Cub, but you would definitely get the shakes. That's why I drink decaf. It wrecks me.
I used to drink 6 extra larges a day years ago. And, yeah,
Bragger.
that would give you the shakes. So,
2 methane. I've got methane and nitrogen in the same crate up
yeah,
here.
that's
and
getting replaced with
yeah,
a,
that's got to get changed. Even if I did have a lovely Cabana boy to bring me coffee, it wouldn't help because I ran out of creamer again. Oh, we need to start a GoFundMe for Shaman's creamer fund. Set it up on automatic so her favorite cream will be delivered to her door.
Now we need to convince her to move out of the fall into the ocean state to a dairy state so that she can
Have all the creamer she wants.
yeah, just walk out to the barn and get it fresh from the cow.
Oh, and there's the Banana Queen. Has come to grace us with her presence. Oh,
Morning, Amp.
morning, Amp. Doing as well as we can. And now that the requisite number of people are here, full disclosure, we played this yesterday morning, and Country Lady helped get us where we're at. So we wouldn't be as far along without Country Lady. She's just not arrived yet in the chat. But I had a private stream yesterday that I posted a link to, and then that was for Blueprints, and I've come to find out that I suck at that game, even though I spent $26 on it. And it was Dave and Country Lady that were in the chat. And I was just thinking, all three of us play Planet Crafter. All three of us have been in this Planet Crafter game. So I said, how would y'all feel about playing Planet Crafter? And away we went. It was a huge amount of fun. Other than the bees, I have the farm makings.
I have the bees. I'll just put them in the fertilizer box for you.
Okay. Have
There
a
you go.
plan in motion to possibly have my groceries picked up and brought here. Can't get regular grocery delivery here, but part of a plan is better than you might think.
Yep.
Sleeping.
Circuit boards.
Jump up and down on the bed until they wake up. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. We had a great deal of fun. It was I didn't feel like I wanted to go totally public yesterday, and I probably should have. It was that much fun. Now I need a bean seed. And there are some
Running it down.
upstairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there aren't any down there, there's definitely some up here.
Yep. Our Walmart here delivers to the house. They will actually come in and set the stuff on the counters for us. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. We haven't ever
Yeah,
used
but no.
Walmart delivery here. We have went and ordered it and then went and picked it up. And
Yeah, that's what I have is the pick it up, or they bring it to you and they just like leave it on your front porch. They don't come into the homes here. So
that is supplying beans. Beans, the magical fruit.
okay.
All right, we have more beans.
Excellent.
Do we
So
have
now
tier 2 beehives yet? No, we do not. The only snag is it's a very small podunk walnut, and they're always sold out of the good stuff. Yeah. Well, Amp, know that I'm just needling you. Nobody told you to move to Mississippi. And I know why you did, and I'm tickled as punch and happy for you. Why am I carrying around a fertilizer when I really don't need it anymore? Now, poor Shaman gets to see this again because she's been watching me play Planet Crafter forever. That I usually carry around 5 waters and 5 foods all the time, no matter what. Yeah, my nemesis. Yeah. Trust me, Amp, I understand. It wasn't my idea to move to Texas, and the older you get, moving is harder. And so I don't uh, foresee moving anytime soon again. I wish I had a little nicer house. We really did live in a nice house in South Carolina, and um, this one's not near as nice, but it's got a small yard, and we can do with it and deal with it. And it's brick. Our last house had vinyl siding, and I did not care for that. I moved from a brick house into the vinyl siding house, and then it was like, oh, there's too much upkeep on that, because it was so humid in South Carolina, and we had a 2-story house, and the sides of the house that were in the shade always grew mold or algae, both in some cases. And washing that house was a pain in the butt. I said, I'll never not have a brick house again. So I did have a bonus room in the old house above the garage that during the flood, I was really grateful to have it, because even though that was the only room on the second floor, it was the room on the second floor. And this does not have a bonus room above the garage, but if I win the lottery, if I would only play, I would get a bonus room. We've got so many phytoplankton that we're just putting them everywhere now, huh?
Yeah, I kind of just threw them in the animal things thing because the life collector, when I moved that life collector.
Yeah. Now, Wolf Cub, you know, to get it done as much on our vinyl siding to make it look decent. I mean, the shady side of the house had the patio on it, and the patio would even grow black mold on the concrete. And it was just like, nope, not doing this again. And there's one place right outside of our door that is shaded almost all the time here because the front of our house sits toward the sunny side of the house, and I've had to clean it a couple of times, and the house is just shaped in such a way that this one spot glows a little. Try that again. Grows a little bit of mold. You know, I'm an old man with a bad back, and I don't often get out the pressure washer, but when I do, that spot gets it every time. Yeah, this one is brick as well. Good old 70s built home, concrete slab floors, brown yellow carpet, paneling on the walls, faint Marlboro red aroma and all. I live in a time capsule. Yeah, don't let Wolf Cub play anyone organized or Wolf LCD 6. But if the service works out, pick my groceries up for my order, bring it all in bags for me, which would be awesome because carrying bags on purchase is a pain. Don't let Wolf Cub play any one game and there are boxes unorganized or Wolf OCD kicks in. Wolf Cub, we have a lot of people like that. I see being chief among them. And I was just saying this yesterday. I see Joro put down a crate in a Planet Crafter we were all playing, and he put it down crooked, and Icy was standing there with him. She sucked it back up and put it down straight before he could pick it back up to straighten it himself. So, trust me, we know all about that. All right, we're at 506 GTI. I hope it works out for you. Fingers crossed. Yes, absolutely. Animal shelter comes up at 1.25 TTI. Animal feeder comes up at the same time. Tier 2 animal food comes up. And an extraction platform comes up at 4. Alignment OCD is real. Yes. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the biomass, we're just not biomassing at all. Come on, Tier 2 mutagen. We're only halfway there. All right, I got to go out and take some explosives and go someplace because I got to get some Tier 2 mutagen because we're floundering.
Yep. I'm going to redo our storage.
Yeah, it's driving you nuts, ain't it?
Yep, I got 15 circuit boards coming, so there's going to be a lot more.
And there's Country Lady. Country Lady, I want you to know I gave you credit for being in here with us and helping us reconfigure the base yesterday. Yeah, it wouldn't be where we're at without Country Lady's help.
Yep.
But she's at work today because she's one of them working folk. Let me see. There's the light. Been in this and already put the battery in it. There is
We're actually running low on silicone.
You could change the Tier 2 miner out front from iron to silicone.
Yeah, probably
Wouldn't be the worst play in the world.
Yep.
I'm going to go to the procedural wreck behind the aluminum field.
Okay.
You're welcome to come if you want.
No. Like I said, I'm going to just work on...
Country Lady, you, if nothing else, you were here. We all were shoveling together. Don't discount your involvement. wouldn't have been here without you.
Yep.
All right. Why is there something to climb up here when there's nothing up here to climb up to? Oop, come on. Up, up, up. No, no, no. So, Wolf Cub, I take it you're off from work? Or you just haven't been into work yet today? I hope that I have the explosives. Yes, I do. Well, I blew up enough of it to get in, so there's that. Hey, first grade I went to. Tier 2 mutagen.
Ooh.
Oh, you pain in the butt. Morning, Andreas. I watched most of your Adam Fall this morning before starting this. That was a rather shocking episode. Checking on the dogs. It's storming here. They're going nuts. Thank goodness Bella's still asleep. Just gonna let her sleep as long as she will while it's storming. Yes, I suppose it was. Yes, it was, but that's all right. And I also got more circuit boards.
Nice.
I
15 I'm making right now are going to be dedicated for storage. So
yeah. When I first woke up this morning, I had my doubts as to whether or not I was going to make this happen because, brother, I was coughing my brains out. I didn't spoil a thing. You'll be fine. Shaman, I'm only going to say this because we're friends. You're having a cranky morning. We're going to start a GoFundMe for your happy fund. Oh, you pain in the butt. Yeah, Amp, you should go look in my general Discord chat. She blurred us this morning. Good morning, Darlene. And I wished her a happy blurg right back. I'm still playing catch up. I thought I was going to have all day yesterday, but ended up in meetings most of the day. Oh, not good. Yeah, she also said she didn't want us to have any festivities in one post before noon. I think she's running around with the wrong bunch of gamers. Not really. We wouldn't trade her for the world.
Nope.
You know, loving somebody does also make you love their faults.
Okay.
The early bird gets the blurg. That's pretty good. 855 Terra tokens available. Well, lovely. Blurg to all you all. I have never been a morning girl. She blurred us all in one fell swoop. I feel so much better now that I've been blurred.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a fish farm.
Gosh, Dave, you're like Icy. Just stand around, stuff gets built.
Well, isn't that what I told you you could do when
you proposed that we do this?
Yes.
Yes, it's your fault.
Yep, 100%.
Now, I don't know if any of you have never played this game. Even when the game stops telling you that there are no blueprints to deal with, save them. That is sometimes how they upgrade the game.
Yep. That's why we got the box below the box. The boundary.
Yeah, the early bird gets the blurg. That should be a t-shirt. Yes. I agree. Let me sort that. Go down here. Get this. What was I trying to build that needed a tier? Oh, I know what I was trying to build. I said he was Icy 2.0. Just turn around and it's built. Yeah, absolutely, country lady. I mean, when he says, I'm going to go do this, you know,
I just go
single-minded. I could really go back to that wreck if I wanted. And I'm considering it, but I found what I wanted. Dave?
Yard.
I am putting bacteria samples and mutagen in the bacteria sample box.
Okay.
Just so you know. And I'm going to build that larva that I'm trying to build.
Okay. You're not getting obsidian. I screw up the miner. No wonder.
Okay, the 1000%er is tier 2 fertilizer and rare. Oh, not that larva machine thing. That thing gave me all kinds of trouble. It gave us all kinds of trouble. Yesterday when we were playing, I could see a fish swimming around in it, and those two could see other things that I couldn't see. Yeah, it was kind of having a blurred day itself. Male version of Icy without the giggles.
Yeah, I just mumble to myself.
I hadn't noticed. I hadn't noticed.
Where does the fabric go that's created in the autocrafter?
It goes to the spaceship, the trading rocket outside. Now, there is a fabric crate, but now that the trading rocket's.
Yeah. I'm going to turn off the fabric thing for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Do what you do.
Yeah, because I need the silk, and it's just stealing the silk faster than I can grab it.
Yeah. Or make a silk that isn't supplying any.
Yeah, but it's the silk things are supplying, and there's a box here that's demanding silk.
Yeah.
But the machine is basically grabbing it out of the silks faster than it can
Yeah.
generate. So I just needed.
Probably a good thing you haven't got my computer yet. You would really want to talk to the blurg in the morning. Typing is probably safer. Shaman. As I said, when you care about somebody, you care about them, warts and all. Wait, that means Big Dave is the Temu version of Icy. Gosh. You know why I didn't play golf
Really?
Saturday?
I'm the Temu version of Icy?
Because I didn't want to laugh. Because I knew it would put me in a coughing fit. And I was right.
You're reducing me to the Temu version? Come on.
Dang, that's...
At least make me the Amazon Prime version. Come on. Okay, I need to make a fish. Ooh, we can make a 1200 butterfly now.
Well, what does it take?
A rare larvae, which we probably don't have.
We've got 3 of them.
Oh, yay. Okay.
A fertilizer and a tier 2 mutagen.
Yeah.
We don't have tier 2 mutagens. Fine, you can be the Dollar General version. You might not know what a Dollar General is, Amp.
Oh, I know what Dollar General is. We got them up here. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna get the. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do.
Big Dave is the Tim Hortons version. I can't disagree with that
Thank
statement.
you, Shaman. Even though technically Tim Hortons is no longer Canadian, so I actually drink McDonald's coffee because McDonald's coffee is a Canadian company, not an American company. So.
Well, you could also be the Princess Auto version.
Yes, Princess Auto, one of my favorite stores.
Yep. Quite frankly, sounds like it would almost be better than Harbor Freight. But that's the closest thing we can come to it here in the States.
Yeah. Well, our close to Harbor Freight would be Busy Bee Tools. It's very similar.
There's a gentleman that I follow that likes working on Tri-5 Chevys, 55, 56, and 57 Chevys, named Dee Speed Shop, and he is in Calgary. He was in Manitoba, but he moved because of work. He got a much nicer garage and house, and he talks about Princess Auto a lot.
Putting the mutagens in the bacteria box. And you cut out something.
Yeah, that's fine. Shaman says, really? No longer Canadian? What kind of universe shifting BS is that?
then they sold it to the Brazilians. That's what happened. So
Really?
yeah. What's the name of the company that owns it? Actually, no, they are back to being Canadian because when Burger King moved its headquarters to Canada because of you know politics, um, that's right. It became a Canadian company again. So
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, because Burger King is no longer an American company; it's a Canadian company now. Figure that one out, folks.
And why are there no Burger Kings in Australia? You ought to watch a documentary about that one. I can't remember all of it. It's. Oof.
Yeah, because Burger King, Popeyes, Chicken, and Tim Hortons and Subway are all owned by the same company. And yeah, because Tim Hortons originally got sold to a Brazilian company, and then that Brazilian company sold them to that chain of fast food restaurants, the Popeye, Subway, Burger King, and then yeah, and then during some, I think it
And
was
where is.
Trump's last presidency, they moved them to Canada.
Yeah.
So
Amp says, where is Jero, my Jero, this morning? Is he feeling any better? Yesterday
he's up
he was having.
in Night of the Dead with Icy, I think.
Yeah, yesterday he was having problems because of his. He didn't take his heart pills this month because he couldn't go to the hospital because he was sick. And he said his breath was so bad he could knock a skunk over. So, um, but yeah, if he's. I have to say that guy is one of the funniest people I've ever met. I probably shouldn't say this because he's not here to defend himself, but if he's listening, he'll be here in a few minutes.
Yep.
He, uh, Icy was talking about she was going to get her son something that was 3D printed. And we thought, both of us, that she was getting him a 3D printer. So what does Joro say? Well, well, no, that you would print quote unquote toys if you catch my drift with it. It was like, huh? Of all the things that would come out of that man's mouth, I didn't expect that. It broke me down. I was laughing. And finally, Icy said, no, we're getting him something that's 3D printed. We're not getting him a 3D printer. Oh, okay. It was, yeah. He said, well, that's what you do with them. I mean, because you got to print something. I mean, well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going.
Okay, so we got fish in the river out back now.
Really?
Yep.
Excellent. I am going to the back to the aluminum field to the I can't think of what that wreck's called. I thought he would want a Donkey Kong thong printed in 3D. Last time I was so. Yeah, yeah. Just to give him stick, I told him you can't say Donkey Thong in my streams. You have to say banana hammock, and he'd do it anyway. uh, Super good fella. Super good fella. Hold it. There's a box down here. Oh, and it's got stuff in it.
You're 2 mutagen stuff?
No, not tier 2 mutagen stuff, but almost. More and more libraries in large areas have tech labs with 3D printers.
Yeah, our public library
Yeah,
system put 2 in recently.
Country Lady says, wouldn't that be a bit chafing?
Well,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised some of the products the materials you can get for 3D printing. There
I
are
think it would
some.
also be protection for family jewels like a turtle shell. Oh my God, I'm too much. No, you're not, Amp. You're just the right amount of too much. Now, when they put out the new update to Planet Crafter, I'm going to start a new play on Humble and work toward going to Prime. Make him clank when he walks, though. No, not the clanking when you walk, please. It just dawned on me that I am going to need a battery. A fusion cell. Hold it. I didn't even look to see if that was tier 2 mutagen in that. Nope. Could you imagine the shrinkage in the cold? But then again, would you want to imagine that? No. Amp, it's always a good day when you're in the chat. So confused. I was thinking when they did add batteries to this. Yeah, you got to have the fusion cell if you find the how to power this thing up. Did I bring one? No, I did not. And right there it is. You guys probably can't see it. Country Lady, since you use a controller, if you're doing Terra tokens in this, you've got to press X to consume, of which I never did think about consuming a Terra token, but here we are. Have to sprinkle a little gutter everywhere I go. Oh, make him easy to find. Oh, I think I hear Joro coming this way. Clank, clank, clank. Yeah. Oh. Yep, I'm gonna need a fusion cell. I've always wondered if I could put a beacon in here. I'm full enough that I'm not. I think if I do start a new game of this, I might consider streaming it on a Saturday morning. That way more people can be involved. And if Dave goes back to work, that would, maybe work. I'm off to get my stream ready. Me and Dre are going to do another Every Dream Valley. I think there is an Easter event, not sure. Amp, always good to have you in chat. Thank you for being here. So, one going, one coming. I'll only catch part of it. I have to run out during lunch and look for some tomato plants for Dad. Yep. Tomatoes, good things.
Yep.
Now, I'm a little put off. They give you these small places where amphibians lay eggs, but they won't let you pick up the amphibians.
Yeah.
You know, don't tease me. Let's sort that. Hope. That's full. Well, I should. Okay. I'm going to say that we probably don't need super alloy.
We are almost full on super alloy. Yep.
Yep. I'm going to do something. I'm also going to put on a spacesuit. Why? Because I can. No, I can't. Don't have any room. Well,
Get rid of your oxygen tank. You don't need it.
yeah, well, I have seen playthroughs that somebody did that and then went underwater and forgot that they did it and died. Just went, no, not doing that.
Okay.
Wolf Cub, may I ask what part of the world you live in? And you don't have to tell me exactly because all I'll tell you out here online in public is that I live in Central Texas. If everything goes according to plan, I hope to retire in the next 5 to 6 years if my promotion and my husband raise comes through. Yes. can honestly say retirement hasn't been terrible. You're not far from me. Okay? Good deal. Lower 48. Yeah. I worked in IT security and on firewalls and networks, and I saw, if you really want to know where somebody's at, you can find it way easier than people think, and that's why I don't mention it out in public. There are people in the chat, and folks in AMP's Discord and stuff that know that I've told. I'm close enough to Austin that I go to Austin every week, whether I need to or not, because the grandkids live there. The board tabled my promotion until fall. Ugh. What a load of crap. Country lady, sorry to hear that. Not yet ready. 3% growth and they're that tall? Well, that's a bunch of hooey. Well, I'm going to take that. That production fuse is probably dealing with this water.
Probably.
Back here.
And if they stack, then the one that I put right beside the silk things is probably also doing it too.
Well, go stand there beside it and see if that, the gas is getting affected.
Yep.
The beehives are getting affected. Yep. Now, I have to say that all this fish stuff that you see out here had nothing to do with me. That was Dave's doings.
Yep. And if you go to the west southwest of the base, so if you go out by the where we have all the screens, then go down to the water.
Yep.
See where the fish are. To the south of, over there.
Oh, yes. We do have fish in the wild. Excellent.
Yep.
Guy that is retiring for all this to happen isn't retiring until November. And we're 18% into mammals.
Yep.
Tier 5 drills. Can we build some and replace our Tier 4 drills?
We got the osmium, we've got the super alloy. Yep.
Let me run up there and get as much as I can get. Did you just take the osmium back here?
Yes, because it's over here now.
Yes, yes. That's 9. magnesium silicone, nitromethane, osmium.
Right there.
Yeah, they don't understand that we need to know now so we can start trading. Oh well, hopefully it'll all work out. Country lady, when I left the state of South Carolina, I told them 8 months in advance, I'm leaving, moving to Texas. And they still didn't have stuff going the right way when I left. So it wasn't like I didn't give them a heck of a lot of notice. I told a guy in a meeting about 3 weeks before I left, I said, you need to quit sitting on stuff. Because he was sitting on information about 40-something people needed to know. He said, well, next time I do such and such, I'll tell you. I looked at him and I said, 3 weeks, I won't be in the picture. I will be in Texas. I said, you need to be more forthcoming with the information you're holding on to. And so, for as much as you would like for that to happen, don't hold your breath. Hate to say. Yeah, we've known he's retiring since December of last year. Yeah, my son lives in Alaska. When I left the state of South Carolina and left working for the state, they said, why aren't you going to Alaska to be with your son? No, I was there in 2018. We got there in August and left the day before Labor Day or 2 days before Labor Day, and it never got above 60 degrees. First day we were there was the warmest day we were there. It about killed me because I was affected more by arthritis than I knew at the time. I said, no, I've got to go someplace warm. There's just just not doing it. And have I got enough for 2 of those? I think I do. Or no, I've got enough for 1 because I didn't get enough super alloy stuff.
You still got lots of super alloy up here.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind. I got to run in my mouth. I mean, not that that's surprising, but maybe you can keep gently reminding them of the need for training the next couple of months. But Johnny's probably right, yeah. Sad but true. The thing that got me was state of South Carolina almost hired me to be a remote employee because they didn't know who was going to take my position. And I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I could have done it remotely, hold it. I got everything, but I didn't make the rods, you idiot. And then all of a sudden, they decided not to. It was, however, I found out after I left, the guy that took my position was a good friend of mine. He turned around and left. The management totally changed, and they said, you probably wouldn't have stayed. It was a pain in the butt. And I just went, well, I don't know. All right, what am I doing besides running my mouth? And I'll say it before anybody else does. Running my mouth an awful lot for somebody that sounds like a bullfrog. loud.
The new miners.
Yep. See if any of that would give me enough to make. And I just tore the old ones down
Yep.
so I can come back in there and make more rods. Let me see here. Yeah, the problem with that is I only see them once a month during the board meetings, so hopefully it'll all work out. Get 5 more of those, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe I counted that wrong. Another iron. That's 2 osmium rods, 4 super alloy rods. Country lady we once had, a county I worked for before I started working for the state, once had a bond issue to fund some IT stuff. And, you know, we talked and talked and talked. And the hardest thing about information technology is explaining it to people who don't understand information technology. I've even had directors that they didn't understand my systems enough to go and advocate for the things we needed. It was, and the board would push us off and go, well, you can't keep doing it with this. You know, no. And they just didn't get it, that to be more efficient, to do the things we were doing, we needed to upgrade equipment to make that happen. And they were pretty tight-fisted with the county's money and felt like that they were spending their own. Gosh, Dave, you're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, well, the idea was just these things moved over.
Yeah, that auto crafter that's sitting there, if you
Yep.
want to move that to a more central place, I just put it up here because here's where all the stuff was at. So
Yeah. What I might do is move this one.
The thing that gets me about these new lockers and auto crafters is they look so much alike.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little confusing. Gosh, we've already got that much methane? Wow. Tier 2 gas extractors is something I don't think we've invested in.
I don't think we have them yet.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, did we finally get those?
But we don't have the circuit board to do it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Look at the circuit board one.
No, I'm not looking. No, you can't make me.
It's
Two
right there.
alloy.
Right in front of me.
Let me pin that.
I think that'll work.
Okay, I built the base, but he just redesigned it, so I haven't a clue where anything's at. You can't make me, and make him anyway. Yeah. Now, if I play on your game again, I'll have to relearn where things are. Yes, it's all Dave's fault. What is that? I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Johnny's got his fingers in his ears. La 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 la. Can't make me.
Yep.
It does look good though, Dave. Country Lady does have a point.
I mean, and in my defense, I haven't ripped down any rooms yet.
Well, that's true. I haven't put down. Oh, we do have a tier 2 and a tier 1. How about?
Are they?
Let's transfer everything out of that. Let's undo that gas extractor. Let's. And then. Being as we have 3 of these, I'm going to put 1 for methane.
Yep.
1 for nitrogen, and
Yep.
probably 1 for O2, but I don't know that we have the locker for that yet.
There is a locker downstairs, like the old style lockers.
Yes.
Okay, I might water again.
Yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yet. I have often said that I have the organizational capabilities of a gnat. And it's when we get this far into the game that it really starts. Well, that doesn't have anything coming from it. So let me put that over there. Yeah, when you get so far in this game, it starts weighing on my mind. I get confused easy. I'm going to fly back over here because we used. Nope, I moved it. That's all right. Once you get so far, you almost have to completely rebuild your base. Well, there's definitely two tiers to this game. You know, your early tier, you're out there hoofing it for all it's worth. And then once you get
Yeah.
drones and start getting high level stuff, you will redesign your base because you just absolutely have to. Just nothing else to it.
Especially once you get the bigger open space blocks. You know, when you because at the start of the game you're building it with the 1x1s, and then you get the 2x2s, then you get I think it's the 3x3s, and it's
And we could get those.
yeah, and it's the whole thing of you want to replace all the 1x1s with the 3x3s because then it gets rid of all the columns, and you can do more with it. So
Yeah, there is definitely a progression of sorts. I will be right back, Dave. I'm going to go procure something wet to drink.
yep.
Playing Planet Crafter.
And we're officially up to not just another iron storage, but
Yeah,
even more iron.
more iron. We didn't need more iron. Good grief. We've got what I think you would describe as a metric shit ton.
We have 2 full tier 2 storages of it, and working on a third one.
Wow.
Yep.
And no, that wasn't alcoholic. That was just ginger ale. Have I mentioned lately that I'll be so happy when I get rid of this cold? We have 800% trees out there. And these in here are 125s. Okay, I don't feel so bad. I just put common larvae in the animal things bin, but I didn't need to because there was room in the larva bin.
Yeah, I gotta start upgrading all that stuff too next.
Yep.
Oh god, that titanium box is so full.
And for anybody
Yet
that
another.
didn't know, they have moved the ending game from 5 TTI to 4 to get the extraction platform. I have to admit, those Tier 5 drills and Tier 5 heaters, things are moving again.
Yeah, good.
Insects, though. And the animals have finally flattened out. And we have 4,868 kilowatts available. You must have or Icy must have a Tier 2 nuclear reactor over at
She
her
does.
place. Mm. Now, I will say that's one thing we haven't done here. These are 2x2s. I wonder if we can buy the 3x3s off of the,
Yep.
if we have enough
Yeah.
tokens.
Which right now we don't.
I don't, yeah, I was going to say I don't think we do. Considering we got 2,297 and those buildings are 10,000 a pop. Yep. 10,000 a pop. I'm considering building another trade rocket, but I don't know what in the world we'd put in it.
Can you put
I know something I do need, and I've got enough time to go do it too, and that is a fusion cell. Because I know how to get back to pulsar quartz.
Excuse me.
Dave, are you still breathing?
Yeah, just tickle. We're getting into allergy season up here, so it's just. So when I went out earlier, I noticed the neighbor's flowering tree has started to flower.
Yeah, fun.
Yep.
I have to say, Texas has almost gotten bad enough that they're going to have gravel yards like Arizona.
Yep.
I should have gotten the stuff to make a transporter, but I didn't.
Excuse me, sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry, everybody. I keep coughing. Yeah.
Hey, that's my line. And the noise reduction in Discord through the voice chat is actually pretty good, and you can just barely hear that you've coughed.
Okay, that's good.
So it's not as bad as you thought it was.
Yeah, that's good.
I know one thing. I'm going to be ready for a walk after this is over with. I've had more seat time this morning than I did in the past few days.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I played yesterday because I was just flat jonesing to get on a computer. I had a computer I was going to rebuild last week and felt so rotten that if I tell you I don't want to build a computer, I'm sick, because there's just nothing that does me any better than working on computers. And
Yep.
yeah, I was not in a good stead. The lights are on and nobody's home. Pardon me. I found out quite by accident that the computer I'm playing with isn't the fastest computer I've got. So, in the great by and by, I'm going to make it to where the fastest computer I've got is the one I'm using.
Yep.
Oh, that was easy. Find the key in one corner and then walk around the corner, and all of a sudden there's the big room.
Nice.
Oh, Dave, are you looking at the video?
I saw you got an access card.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is a loot room and a half.
Yep.
Jeez. Change.
Don't want that. I'm bringing back anything that I can put on a rocket and sell, or
Yep.
oh, you dummy. I'm also bringing back Lerma because I know there's a few things that take Lerma.
Yep.
Later game. Do we need any more bean seeds?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah, I'm with you. I had picked up one.
yeah, we got 4 or 5 in storage that aren't even being used yet. So
Yep. Excellent.
see, I wish once you access those lockers and storage boxes, you could actually set the supply and demand on them. And then you could just walk around the base of these ships and just go bing, supply all. And then at some point the drones will go over and grab it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to go out there again. I'm going to go back here, and there's nothing else back here. So I am going to go out there again. $16 views, 7 concurrent viewers. For me, that's big doings.
Yeah.
I don't think we need super alloy, because we've got a metric shit ton of it.
Yeah, and the drill that's supplying it is obviously working because it does grow. So
Okay.
the one I'm concerned with is the obsidian one. I must have messed that one up. So
Is it a tier 2 or a tier 3?
Should be a tier 3. Because I specifically took the materials for tier 3s over, and I'm pretty sure I selected the obsidian, but I may not have set it as supply. There's probably a full chest of obsidian sitting over there.
And I'm picking up fuses only because we can also turn around and sell them.
Yep. And there's a few storage box now, so
Yeah.
if you order something from the trade rocket, it may end up in that fuse box now instead of in the staying in the trade rocket.
Yeah. That's fine. Now, it is my hope, because we've only got about 13 minutes left, that I'm going to be doing this again come Thursday, because I really like giving my arm a break and,
Yep.
you know. And hopefully, I'll do golf again on Friday.
Yep.
Because okay, that was where I just went. Back. Well, I was getting ready to get into a crate, and all of a sudden I see the big thing. I'm not seeing any tier 2 mutagen though.
Yeah. We gotta be close to getting that, so we should be. I'll take a look when I get back to the bit or finish emptying my pocket.
This is a lunchroom, and that is an oxygen bottle or a water bottle. That is a water bottle. We will take it. I'm getting ready to bring home a bunch of, well, I thought I was. Oh, it's letting me. I thought that was tech. But it is letting me. I might have to drop some stuff along the way. I don't care about that. Sort's a sort.
What are we? We're to mutagen. We're 3/5 of the way there.
Yeah, I'm dropping iron for what it's worth. Criminals pay their debt to society one planet at a time, Sentinel Corp. I'm going to make a screenshot of that. That'd make a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
What did that give me? Alright. Alright, the exit is going out this way then. Oh, come on now. I at least want to make it back to base to end the stream. You can build a gym now. Yeah. Pretty much. Country lady, what you don't know is sitting pretty much right behind to the one side of my desk is a treadmill. Have I used it? Yes. Have I used it lately? No. I much prefer getting out and walking. Um, it would probably be okay for a rainy day, but it's still. Uh, I've walked around my coffee table rather than get on the treadmill because there's just something about it that is not as satisfying as being outside.
Yeah.
One bad thing about Texas, though, is it is sometimes can be very windy, and there are moments that it can get so windy that it's just a little crazy.
Yeah.
I have a stationary bike that makes a great place to hang clothes to dry. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my first civilian job after the military boss told me, if you're going to buy a treadmill, buy one of those with very long handles on it. Said, because it's great for hanging your clothes on. Dave, I saw you fall off the second floor there. You didn't think I did, but I did.
Oh no, that was intentional. I totally take the shortcut now all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yep. And we now have a treadmill and a bike and well, it took my blueprint, but it didn't show me what it had used it for. Okie dokie. Oh, wow. Titanium, magnetar quartz, quasar quartz, blazar quartz.
If I was smart, I'd move the other quartz down there.
I was
end.
just getting ready to tell you. Well, I meant to do that. He says. Yeah. I was getting ready to say he's being as bad as Joro, because
It's up by the super alloys, the other one. So
Joro is famous when he gets a 14 in golf that he says, I meant to do that. Well, I thought these were oxygen multiplier fuses out here on the back porch, but they're plant multiplier fuses.
yes, which affect the gardens. That's why I got the gardens going around it.
Yeah, but we also I have 2 oxygen multiplier fuses right at the moment.
Well, don't the tier 2s take 3? So you could put one in with that one's.
Well, but there was already a production fuse in there, so I just left it alone.
Okay.
Fabrique. It's 9:26, 10:26 where you're at, Dave.
Yep.
So we're getting ready to call it a day. After I get all of my stuff emptied out, that I know the people are going, you're making me seasick, quit walking around like that. Even more iron.
It's basically across from the another iron.
Dave, you're different. Not necessarily good, but different. Alrighty then. Let's go back down to the tote board. Or the scorecard. You can't tell who's who without a scorecard.
Yep.
We are coming up on 35% into mammals.
Well, next time we do this,
Yep.
I'm going to create a crap ton of, what are they called? Butterfly farms
Mm-hmm.
to get that insect number up.
Yep. That's the play right there. Shaman says, I love how there's a perfectly good staircase, but you just jump off next to it. Well, you know, gravity is the law.
You don't break your ankle, so.
Yeah, this game is pretty forgiving with how far it'll let you jump. To end this, I must thank Big Dave. I also must thank Country Lady, even though she don't think she did much. She was here and she was shoveling along with us, so that's all that matters.
Yep.
Need to thank all of you all in chat. Shaman, Country Lady, Wolf Cub, Amp, Dreas, Darlene, the Mayhems of the world, even though he wasn't here today. Next time on Johnny and Dave in Space. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. But it was fun. You just don't know how much I hate canceling a stream. It drives me crazy. I really enjoy doing this, for the human connections, if nothing else. It's not the game as much as it is the human connections. I appreciate you all taking your time to be here and Dave taking his time to be here. But he's who suggested this in a way. His words started it down the path. So.
Yep. Well, I knew Johnny liked doing the streams, so it was all about finding a way for him to be able to do the streams, and if his hand and arm weren't working for him that day, he can just sit around and shoot the shit with chat.
Dude, stick with what you're good at. Shaman said, thank you for the blurred good time.
Yep.
And
happy blurred, Miss Shaman.
Yeah, happy blurred to you for all that celebrate. Yeah. Wolf Cub says, okay, bye everyone. Can't wait till the next one. Oh yeah, riveting content. Old folks doing stuff. All right, then. This is where we're going to leave it. Now I got to get the controller back in my hand so I can even save. Gosh. Darlene, hope you have a great day. You all have a good one.
Have a good one, everyone.